Hello and welcome to another Blender tutorial. Blender tutorial. Don't you want to show you how to do it?
Hello everybody and welcome to another Blender tutorial. I will show you step by step.
And it's like, fucking hell, man, can you just hurry up and get on with the fucking tutorial? Welcome everybody, sorry for the language. Aren't you sick and tired of people fucking coming out with that bullshit, confusing the fuck out of you? Let's get straight to it. I'm going to show you how to model a quick model, okay, do some sculpting, do some modelling, do some texture painting, do some rigging, and get your models done. We're just going to put a few basic shapes together now in this simple tutorial, straight to the point. Let's do this. Okay, right. First up, we've got a basic cube here, okay, a basic cube. This could be a cube, this could be anything, this could be any model, okay, it could be an OBJ file. OBJ models, excuse me, usually are known to be for being static, as in like not posable with rigs and stuff. Usually when you think of a rigged model, like a rigged figure or some kind of character, it's usually going to be an FBX format or a collada format, also known as DAE, that's D-A-E. But for OBJs, they're usually like static. I'm just letting you know that just in advance. Again, but this, as I say, is the startup cube though. So when you open up Blender 2.8, this is what you're going to get. Okay. Now, so what we're going to do is we're just going to put a couple of shapes together. Let's just mess about with them a little bit. So first of all, I'm going to go into edit mode. We're currently in object mode. Go up here. It's selected. I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to subdivide. I'm going to go down here at the bottom here. I'm going pretty fast, but follow along. I'm just giving it a few subdivisions to give it some interest. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to choose a few faces by going up here. You can choose points, edges, or faces. I'm going to choose the faces. Go in. I'm just going to choose a few points, holding control on the keyboard there, just as I left click and select a few faces. Okay, faces everywhere. Okay, now I'm going to go to one of the options. I love these toggles on the left. I love all of these features. I don't know what people are talking about. I mean, shortcuts are really useful, knowing all those keyboard shortcuts, but I think it's really cool having these widgets here. I love Blender 2.8. Going down here now, I'm going to choose the shrink and flatten tool. I think that's a good one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to push and pull. I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to start pulling them up. Oh, I should have done it another way actually, but whatever. It's okay. Now I'm going to choose another one. I'm going to choose, what should we choose? Let's go to extrude, and I'm going to go to individual. Okay, I'm just going to pull each one out like that. We're going to give some funky, crazy shapes. Okay, that will do for this. We're just doing a basic, simple thing. Okay, don't worry about this. What else I'm going to do is I'm going to it's still in edit mode, so I'm going to just go to the points. I'm going to just click, press A to select all. Okay. Again, right click, go to subdivide some more. Why not? Give it a big one. We'll choose it 20 there. That's really subdivided up now. Got to be careful when you've got a lot of subdivisions, because it will slow stuff down or mess up sometimes. I'm going to go to sculpt mode now. Okay, sculpt mode here. I've got different kinds of brushes and stuff. Let me see if I can find some. Yeah, I've got some stuff there actually. So I'm going to go into that. Okay. Please excuse me for those stupid advertisements coming on the screen there. I'm just going to paint across, okay, as we go. Turn up the strength. You can adjust the size of the brush or the strength here. What I'm going to do, I'm trying to speak fast just to make this a bit more better. Okay, sorry to go rushing. I'm trying to get through this to show you some good stuff. Okay, so I'm sculpting something on here. This could be a character, it could be anything. Okay, currently we've just got one object. Don't forget, I'm going to add another object into the scene in a moment. From here, okay. Don't forget we can also paint with textures. So let's go to like a fairly smooth side like this one here. If you're using a cylinder object, what I've found is for a cylinder, if you go to like when you're in like the normal let's say object mode and you want to add something in, like you can go to add mesh, and we've got a cube here. If you were to choose a cylinder, you can only like work around the cylinder shape. You can't go on the caps, the top and bottom. There probably is options for that, but I'm not going into that today. Just thought I'd let you know. Going down here now to texture. Okay, so what I can do is I can go to, we're in sculpt mode, don't forget. Another thing you can do is go back to layout, go back to object mode, right click the object and go to smooth, okay, shade smooth, okay, hold on, shade smooth, oh apparently it is already, okay, turn that off, okay, go back to sculpt mode, so you'll see when I do the painting it will come out nicer. But anyway, we're going to go into, I've gone to the bottom thing here, this add a texture, okay, the bottom here, bottom right, clicked on that, gone to new, now I'm going to go to open, choose a texture like an image, okay, I'm going to choose one of these, a random one. I'm going to choose a random one, okay, just choosing this one. I've got like a bunch of textures, I've got one here, now we're going to go up to the top thing with this spanner here, choose that, go down, go to texture, go down, and then I'm going to go to here and go choose to mapping, okay, and then go to stencil. This thing will come up here, hold right click, move across. I've done videos on this already as well, and talking about stencils for stencil painting in a recent video. It works the same way in sculpting basically, okay, same controls, so check that video out. So I'm going to get it into position to size the image. It's the same, you're still going to use the right mouse button holding and clicking to move it around, but what it is you press and hold control, shift, so press shift for sizing, or press control and hold that to turn and rotate it. Okay, so I'm just going to put it in a position, zooming in now, still controlling your brush radius size up the top here, or the brush strength, and I'm just going to paint over it, okay, so doing that, okay, there, move it into another place and do some more, okay, whatever. It's pretty big in terms of you know, detail there, but let's forget that for now. Okay, now we're going to go into paint, okay, texture paint mode currently. So we're reviewing again what we did basically in the other video. So let's imagine we just came into the software now. It would work the same way. As soon as you come into Blender, you can jump straight over here if you want to. Go to texture paint. Once you brought your model in, it's going to be purple like this. You're going to have this thing on the side. What you're going to do is you're going to go over here, make sure it's on the spanner thing at the top here, and make sure this is also on texture paint mode, okay. The left hand side is like a UV thing. Please excuse my lack of terminology here. Where it says no textures here under mode material, okay, leave it on material under texture slots. No textures, go to add. I'm going to add a base colour. I'm just going to choose a colour from here. You could choose an image or whatever. Please ignore those advertisements coming up. I'm going to choose red and I'm going to click OK. You can see it's updated here as a reddish colour. Once I'm in here, I can also go down and start doing any painting I want. I can start painting on a yellow, or painting in certain areas, you know, and stuff like that, as we're, you know, and start painting on the object. Again, adjusting the strength and stuff of the brush. You can do it on this side too if you want to do it that way, you know. Okay, going along there, I'm working that out. Okay, you can go in smaller brush size if you want, whatever. Okay, this is not the best. I'm not trying to do the best job here. I'm just doing a basic thing. Okay, so I could write my initials or whatever I want to do on there. I can again, you can also go down to texture where it says texture. Let's go to add a new texture. Again, same way, gone down to here, the texture checkered thing here. I'm going to go to open. I'm going to go to another, go to desktop. I'm just going to choose another. I'm just going to choose a rough image. I'm just going to choose this image here, an image I found online, someone posted online. Now I'm going to go up to the top where it says the spanner thing here. I'm going to go down again, and I'm going to go down to where it says texture on here as well. Go down to that. Okay, then from here where it says tiled, I'm going to choose stencil again. Again, I'm going to be moving that into place the same way as we did the sculpting one. Same controls totally. Okay, zooming in and stuff. Okay, putting it there. I'm going to just paint over this now. Put the radius of the brush up a bit more, and just paint on there. Now, keep in mind, okay, that because we did a lot of subdividing for the image, also the colour does affect it, by the way. So I had a slightly red colour there. I've changed the colour slightly whiter. You'll see what I mean now if I paint over. See, it goes a bit more normal. See, but I'm just saying, okay, look, because we did a very large subdivision on this model anyway. Okay, that's you know, the reason. Okay. It's coming out nicely, fairly nicely, but you see the pixels there. If it was like even more, it'd be more, you know, see, but it's like if you had like a large, a very less subdivided object, it would be worse. It would come out very messy, as I've found. Well, that's what I've found anyway. Okay. Now you may be wondering, okay, it's okay putting the colours on, it's okay painting, and then also painting stencils or just painting. If you want to go back to normal painting, you can just simply go to the texture here and click the X, the cross, and turn it off. That will still leave those on, but you can go back to normal painting again, just painting with the colours. It works the same for this in sculpting mode too, sculpt mode. Now you may be wondering, yeah, why are the colours and everything not showing on the left? That's right, we're in texture paint mode. Once that's ready, once you're ready with that, you can go up here and go down to edit mode, okay, which will select everything, but it hasn't as such. You're going to right click. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just press A, okay, to select all, and then I'm going to go U, press U on the keyboard for unwrap, and then you're going to go up to the top and actually click on unwrap, okay, and then you're going to say, well, it hasn't actually still shown up, it's still not shown up on there. So then what you do is you go back up here and you go back down to texture paint again. So you start in texture paint, then you go to edit mode, press A to select all, press U to unwrap, choose unwrap, and then you still don't see anything, and you go back down to texture paint again. So basically it's texture paint mode, edit mode to get that unwrap sorted out, then go up to texture paint mode again, down to here, and then you see from here you can just zoom in and out, and it's actually updated. You can paint, by the way, too. I want to mention, let me just choose a blue colour for a moment and a small brush radius. I can actually paint on the object on this side, and I can also paint here, and it will update too. I can actually paint, you see, on the model here itself like that too. Like if I paint over this, let's find that small image, where is it, about here, right? If I paint on the, you've got a big one, if I paint on here, you see it covers up there, so it updates, okay. So we've got a fairly detailed thing. Now I can go to the middle here, right click, and then go down to join area, go to the left, and it joins over there. Got a nice little model, right? Don't forget we can also do things like going into shading mode and choosing other options. If you hold on 1 second while this loads and hopefully doesn't crash. Remember, if you want to see the thing properly, wait for it to load, be patient. You can go into rendered mode, don't forget always, and in any of the viewports, go to the rendered mode on the right here. It's coming up pretty nice, right? But you can, like, you know, choose the roughness, put the roughness right down if you want, make it really shiny. It's up to you if you want to do for different materials. I'm just waiting for it to load, okay. Okay, well, it's actually worked, but there's just not much strong lighting in the scene. I'm going to click on the light, and we are in object mode. Good. Check the mode you're in. So you've got the viewports at the top, and then you've got the mode here. Okay, selecting the object you want to do. I'm just going to press G to grab to move it. Okay, you can use the widgets and stuff in the different scenes, but I'm just going to put it here, just so you can see the shines acting. Okay, how they do. Alright, it's not. Oh, the reason it's not showing up so well, I'll tell you why. Because you need to go to here, to this little camera thing here, just below the spanners one on the right here. Go down and choose. You can choose bloom if you want to get a real nice glow. See, bloom. See that? Amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. Or you can choose. We're in Eevee, by the way, Eevee render engine. This is the render settings. You can choose different ones. I find Eevee is the best. I know people keep talking about cycles being amazing, but I don't give a fuck. Alright, I'm a Eevee homeboy. I'm an Eevee homeboy for real. Now I'm going down here. I'm going to choose screen space reflections. Turn that on. Turn that bad boy on there. See the reflections. See the reflections. If I had different objects and stuff in the scene, you'd see them all reflecting off of each other. So I'm just showing you the power of that, this kind of stuff, right? Just so you know. The back, you know what it is, man. But I want to say to you also, don't forget, you can also go to the world settings here. This red one. Click on that. And you can click on where it says where the colour is. You can actually add an image in the background. I've shown you that before. I'll check my other videos out. You can choose a colour if you want for the background, or you can make it darker, you know, whatever. Oh, that amazing shit. I was there. If you don't like all the things in the way, like the grid, and let's go back. Let's just turn all those funky things off for a moment, okay? Because just so it doesn't slow down or crash. Turning off the bloom, turning off the screen space reflections. I'm just going to go back to layout mode, okay, layout here. This is in solid view. I'm going to choose render view here from the top right. You can still see this grid, right, and all these little widgets and things in the way here. You don't want to see, right, like this and that. You can turn those off by clicking up here. Here, you see up the top here, follow my mouse. here for this off and on. You can see the camera controls and everything. You can control the camera here by clicking these objects too, or just controlling it with the middle mouse wheel, pressing and holding the button in and just moving the mouse around, zooming in and out with the scroll wheel too, using the left. You can use these widgets over here to control using left click, clicking and holding and moving stuff around, you know, and all that stuff. Right clicking will just bring up some options and things. You can see the camera view and a lot of different things here, okay. You can move the view as well as by doing that, or simply holding control on the shifts on the keyboard and pressing the middle mouse button in like a button and moving like that. If you don't hold shift it, and if you just turn it like that, it just turns, okay, when you press and hold the middle mouse button in and hold it. But rolling the mouse wheel up in and out, if you go on it zooms in and out. Left click is the normal clicking and selecting, okay. I know it was right clicking the old Blender. Happy I didn't use it enough. I'm happy because this one's good to learn. This is very, very good. I like Blender, the new one, 2.8. I mean, I never wanted to learn Blender before, but I'm so happy that with the new one, it is amazing. We're in render mode, okay, that means the best view settings we've got here currently. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do something, okay, so I'm going to show you something. We've got this object here, okay. I'm going to show you what I've learned from my ways of doing this, okay. I've got a fairly detailed thing here, object, right. And I need to go out pretty soon anyway, but I'm going to just show you this quickly. So let's just do this, right. So I'm going to add another object. I'm going to go to add mesh. I'm just going to add a sphere. Let's add a sphere in. Screw it. Right, add a sphere. Move that sphere across. There's that sucker hiding. I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to go to shade smooth. See how nice and smooth that is now. I'm still going to go to edit mode now. Go to edit mode. Right click. Right, I'm going to click. Hold on. Click this motherfucker. Hold on. Make sure you're on select first of all. The select. So I'm going to go subdivide. Oh, I need to turn on the visibility of that because we didn't see it. Sorry, because of the thing there. Okay, so yeah, subdivide. Shit, what's going on there? Undo. I want to undo quickly. So hold on. Okay, select all first. You can press A if you want to do that. Right click, subdivide. Do a couple of them, not too many, fair enough. Now I'm going to go to sculpting again. We're going to do a bit of that. The object you select when you're in layout mode, when you're in object mode, sorry, is the object it's going to sculpt on. So when you go into sculpt mode, don't worry, you shouldn't be able to sculpt on the other one. See, so I can only sculpt on this. It should be okay. Oh, but I'm using a stencil still, as you can see. So we've got that stencil thing going. By the way, when you sculpt, regardless if you're using a stencil or not, what you're going to notice is you know, you're going to also don't forget you can also turn that stencil off over here, the image of the texture, by just clicking it off. And if you don't want to do like symmetry, you see how it's like symmetry right now? Looks like I'm drawing some funky character or something with two eyes and hair. But no, basically it's like, you know, if you don't want that, you can just simply go down to there's you know, your stroke and things like that. Where's the symmetry at? Symmetry, okay. Just turn it off. It's currently set to X. Just turn it off and just paint in one area. And as I say, it won't affect the other object. You need to go back into object mode and select which object you want to paint. Okay, now let's go. That's done, right? Let's go to texture paint mode. Texture paint mode, right? This time, because we got rid of that thing, didn't we? You can't see the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the top right and look at how my mouse changes to a little crosshair thing, like you're going to shoot some motherfuckers. Just kidding. I'm going to move this across, okay? Drag out another screen. Then I'm going to go up to the top left here with this little thing here. Okay, this thing here, and I'm going to go down. I'm going to go to where is it? UV editor. It should be, I believe. Yeah, it should be. This is basically what that is. Now on the right hand side, I'm just going to go to object mode just quickly. You make sure that's selected. This sphere. I'm going to go down to edit mode. Texture paint mode. Okay. I'm going to go over here to where it says no textures. We're just doing that little spanner thing here. Go down to where it says no textures. Add material. Go to base color. I'm going to just choose a yellow. Okay, it's updated there. Go down, I'm going to choose another little colour. We'll just choose a bit of orange or something. Paint something on there. It's painting roughly in some places, okay? Okay, whatever. So we've got a little thing there going on, okay? Just put in some, maybe some alien insect shell or something. Who knows what the hell this is? Or some mouldy cheese or something. Okay, now basically from here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to edit mode and press A now to make sure it selects it all. Oh, okay, it did. I was going to say unwrap. Weird, it didn't unwrap. It already is actually unwrapped, it looks like. I don't know what would happen if I actually press unwrap. Okay, if I right click and go up to, no, if I just press U now and go to unwrap, would that unwrap it differently, or? Well, the main point is it seems like I don't need to, right? Because it's already unwrapped. Weird stuff. But if I go to texture paint mode, will it show? Yeah, it still shows the same. So weird. I don't know. That's how that worked this time. But you still know. I've shown you already how to do that. If I paint some blue on there, yeah, it does update in real time too. I guess because it's in like UV paint mode. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know this was a UV editor. You've also got like, where is it? Image editor or whatever. I think it's like the same thing. I don't know, like UV editor or whatever. Anyway, that's that. Okay. Now, what you're going to see, that's like that, right? If I go up to here now and choose object mode, and if I select, well, basically each one has a different. Each one's definitely going to have their own paint, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, let's say if you click this drop down thing, you can see each one. You can choose each one. So this is for that one, and this one is for that one. Okay, sorry, the yellow one is for that one. This one is for the yellow one, right? Now what we want to do is save these two images out. So and also the two objects as two objects, right? But what we also want to do is we want to join them together, right? So currently I've got nothing in this folder, just called 0909. I'm going to show you how to do that really quickly. So we need to go to where it says image, okay, and I'm going to save these out. So save as, I'm just going to save it, we'll leave it as 1. So 1's the yellow one, save it into the place right in there. Save, okay, now we're going to choose the other one, bang, file, save as, hold on. Strange. Base color. So one is number 1, and one is just normal. I'm guessing. I'm not changing the name. I'm just keeping it rough. Okay. So just remember, 001 is the yellow one, and the normal one is the red one. So he's going there. Okay. Saving them in the same place. They've got to be in the same place as the models, all right? And it should give you another file thing. So if you see these files called MTL, it's like the material coordinates. So it remembers where you've put your objects, basically, where the images go and how they align and are mapped onto the object. So I made a mistake by like deleting the MTL files, and I had to like put the images back on the objects in another thing I was doing before I made this video, and I realised it's because I deleted those files. It's like it helps the system know where to put the materials. Anyway. You can make a single image, a single object, and have both objects. Okay, make a single object as one. Okay, the way to do that is you're going to join them together. Okay, and I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to select one object. Okay, I've selected this one with left click. Now I'm gonna move it into place. I'm just gonna put it into this some way, like it's together with this object, right? It's merged in, but it's like together, you know. Okay, there. Okay, you see what I'm saying? In fact, what I'll do is I'll change the shape of it too. I'll just enlarge that long, like a big piece of fungus or something. I don't know. Okay, some big thing there. Some big cheesy finger. Some big ass cheesy finger for this motherfucker, right? Something right there. Some big cheesy finger thing. In fact, what I want to do is make 2 of them. I'll make one, fuck it, I won't make one, I can't be bothered with that shit. So this big thing's being poked by some big cheesy finger, right? Whatever the hell that is, whatever this thing is. So I'm just going to select that, make sure you select, and I'm going to go to hold down shift and press select on the other object. You'll see that they're both selected. If I go into solid mode, you'll be able to see that more clearly there. From here I'm going to hold down control now and then press Z or Z, and you see that now it's become one object. Now I could export this and then re-import this as a single object. I could save this as an OBJ image object, sorry. But I've found that I have problems putting rigs in and like making the bones work and stuff. And that's probably because OBJs are not meant for that anyway. You're better to do it with you know, DAE, which is DAE, DAE files, or FBX. We're going to make a rigged object here using these two. It's one object now. Remember, this is just some bullshit, right? In a real situation, you'll be making a good character, maybe with a hat attached, or some armor, or some weapon, some sword on his back, all kinds of things. I'm also going to show you another way how to, in the modelling stages, you can also put different textures and materials onto different parts of a single object. But in this situation, we're just doing it this way, okay? But anyway, so we've got one object here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to export this, okay? We have the materials. We don't need to change those as such, as far as I know. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Export as a Collada, okay? Collada object. This is going to be Collada DAE file. Export into the same folder, okay? And I haven't added a rig in yet or anything, no bones at all, but I'm doing this just to show you, okay? Okay, Collada, because I'm showing you if you wanted to rig your thing at a different time, let's say, you know. So let's go to File, New now, that's done. General, start it up as a new project. Delete this cube here. Go right click and then select delete with the left click. I'm going to choose rendered view so we can see the materials when they come up. I'm going to go to File, I'm going to go to Import and Collada DAE, go to the 0909, this thing I've made here, it's just untitled model, I'm just bringing it in. Okay, and you can see that even though we've morphed and stretched things and changed shape, the two materials are applied, and I can click away and this is actually one object. Great, right? Now if you want to see the model up here, if you go to the top on the side here, this is just called cube. Okay, that's all it is. It's just called, because I didn't give the object a name, okay, but it's just the scene that recognised as the cube in this, okay. We attached this sphere to the cube, don't forget, and so that was the last one that was selected, so it's just that. Now if I go to cube here and click it, it's actually a drop down thing, and you'll notice inside that is a green thing. You can also click that and that's also a drop down thing, and look, material 1 and material 2, we have two materials. Those are mapped on, these two materials, the yellow one and the pink one, from, if we go there, if I go into my folder here, you can see, well, it actually doesn't show it for some reason. Sometimes it gives you an MTL. I don't believe this is any of these, no. Sometimes it gives you an MTL thing, like a material thing, to let you to it, so it maps it and knows where to put the thing. For some reason that's just here and it hasn't bothered to do that this time, which is very strange. To make sure it's none of these two things, I'm going to just delete these shit things that don't mean anything. I'm going to just re-import that again just to check. Okay, so I'm going to go File, New, General, discard changes, get rid of that. Okay, rendered mode, File, import DAE, there, boom, boom, it just brings it in. Okay, good, so that's right, so it didn't give us that file, but anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to click away, we're going to go to Add Armature Single Bone. Okay, single bone, we can't see it currently because it's inside of this, so we're going to go to this little green skeleton man thing down here. We're going to go to Viewport Display, and we're going to go down to In Front so we can see the bone. From here we're going to go into, we're going to move this across by clicking the arrows, making sure you select the bone first, moving that into place, okay, moving that up. I'm going to go into Edit Mode, I'm going to press X on here so we get that view there. Please excuse me for speaking fast. I'm going to press Grab, press G to grab, and I'm going to move it along. From here I'm going to click, I'm going to press, we're in edit mode, don't forget, I'm going to press E to extrude, and I'll do that a couple of times, and then left click and say do that, bang, now we've got a rig. From here now I'm going to go back to solid object mode, click out of that, click on the object itself, click on the object itself, the object you want to make attached to the skeleton rig. Now I'm going to hold shift on the keyboard and click on the first bone of the skeleton of the rig, you know, which is an armature. Now I'm going to go to Object, Parent. This is my way of doing things. Okay, so Object, Parent. Remember the skeleton is last. Okay, the rig. Then you're going to go down to with automatic weights. Okay, click that. Wait for a moment, and it should work. Sorry if I'm speaking fast, guys. And let's give it some time. turn off that as well, this stupid advertisement, and hopefully it should rig okay. It's kind of taking a while. Okay, that should be done. There's no warnings or anything coming up to say it didn't work, so I'm going to click away now, move around. Let's go into, we're in Blender 2.8, don't forget. You don't want to always see those bones there. Don't worry, you can turn off the visibility of those bones when you don't want to see them, or you can turn off these in front here by turning it off and on, or you can just turn off the visibility in these settings up here. But just for quickness, I need to hurry up now, I need to go out. I'm going to just choose up here, okay, go in, click here, make sure you choose the armature, okay, now it's an armature, so make sure you choose armature from the top here, which means skeleton. I'm going to go up here to pose mode, okay, under here, pose mode. Once that's selected, you can choose pose mode, then press and hold the left mouse button and go down to select circle. It must be select circle. Click and hold, only that way can you select individual bones. I'm going to choose a bone here, then I'm going to choose the rotate tool here, and we can rotate. Okay, so that is how you can make a figure. If you're smart, you can do that. Okay, you can choose how to make things and make a character or whatever you want to do, and pose them, and you can animate them on the timeline too. I hope you've enjoyed this. Okay, and by the way, don't forget you can export this now as a collider again. So I can go to File, Save As. Cancel File, Export, Collider or FBX. Okay, I'm going to choose Collider there, and I'm going to just overwrite the one I had. I think that's what I'll do, the untitled one. Bam. You may notice that it gives extra bones like that stick out from the top. There's a feature for getting rid of that. I'll show you if it does do that. You can just delete the bones or just click off that feature. I'll show you in another video, okay, or we'll see how we go. But anyway, thanks for watching this. That's how you can do it. Thanks for watching.